Here this morning we have a service call on a reach-in not working. Two-door prep table. This is our old little rack we have going on here. What we're working on happens to be the sandwich table. So I've got everything labeled pretty well up here. So it looks like right here we have a defrost timer that says sandwich table. I'm gonna open it up. Currently says 10 a.m. It's not quite 10 a.m. So we'll take a look at that. That's controlling a condensing unit, which is actually right here. It's currently running. Got some oil buildup right here on this suction line for sure. Something going on there. Comes back over to the other side. It's running. So we'll come back over to the other side. Looks like we have a sight glass I just couldn't see. I'm gonna wipe off the lens on it. Condenser looks pretty clean. Sight glass is clear. Let's go downstairs and take a look at the evaporators and see what they're showing us. Box. Looks like we have two Omni-Temp coils. Got a probe in here for temperature. They both have airflow. They don't feel to be iced up. So while I'm watching the box operate, I'm waiting for it to come down to temperature. I noticed something. Look at all these old refrigeration lines. None of the suction lines are insulated. Well, one of them's half-ass insulated. You'd be surprised how much of a difference that makes. Especially when you notice it's early in the morning and where the sun is facing all this stuff. So the condensers are already getting the brunt of the heat from the sun, and then our suction lines are just absorbing that heat. So it's bringing our compressor cooling up, making our superheat abnormally high. That is compressor superheat. So one of the things right off the bat we're going to recommend to the customer is putting insulation on those lines, so that way we can increase the efficiency of our equipment here. Okay, so as the service gauges indicate here, this is a textbook readings for a bad suction valve inside the compressor. We have high suction pressure, low head pressure, and a really high compressor superheat. At this point, we're going to talk to the customer about some new equipment. Okay, so I went ahead and talked to the customer, got the approval, so I'm in the process of changing this condensing unit now. The way I'm doing this, because I had an open spot over here, this is the unit in question. I got here this morning, built this, got it all installed till I'm basically at this point right now, so that way they can operate their morning shift and have their reach-in half-ass working. Now I'm at the point that I'm going to go ahead and shut this guy off, pump it down, we'll recover the gas out of it in a few minutes, and then go ahead and make the connection over here. So I'll walk over here and you'll see that I did pretty much everything that I could all the way down to right here, and I'm just going to cut the lines and connect the new ones and use the existing lines going down to the coils. I went ahead and went with the flare dryer. I've been on a kick lately where I've been putting flare dryers on the roof. It makes it easier for me because then I don't got to carry my torches up here when I fix a coil leak down below. That's just been my kick lately. I used to hate flares. It stemmed from flares being used on walk-in freezer TXVs. I still won't use a flare on a coil because the expansion and contraction makes the nuts come loose. But up on the roof, I really don't have problems on the high temp stuff. So I used flare dryer, flare sight glass, makes it really easy to change when it comes time. The old system was R22, we're converting it over to R404A. Okay, notice we got one screw going one way, the other screw coming out. It's a little hack to make it easier to put this panel back on and take it off. slowly in the process of changing this coil, ripped everything out. Gonna try to clean it up, fix it as best as possible. I should say coils. Prepping the second coil right now. I do it all one piece on the copper, insulate it so I can just pull back the insulation and it slides right over the T. Almost done. Okay, all done. Everything looks good, unit's running. Used the existing time clock because it was fairly new. Wired it all in, got it marked. Running great pressures. Piped it down into the original piping. I ended up getting some actual Hydrosorb strut clamps that have the rubber. Same thing on that one. Everything's nice and neat. Nice big receiver. I added a bigger receiver because these little half horsepower condensing units have plenty of BTUs. I've only got 2,000 BTUs in coils downstairs, but I want to say that we get like 5,000 or 4,000, somewhere in there. We got more than enough BTUs out of a half horse, but the receivers only are like 1.8 or 2 pound pump down, and I've got about, 55, 60 feet of line set. You just can't pump these things down. The one that I pulled out today, I pumped it down as far as it would go, then shut it off and had to recover all the gas out. So anyways, added a bigger receiver, so now we got more than enough space. Everything's running, man. All finished up. It's about as pretty as it can be. Screens are hooked up, kind of half-assed, but they'll work. I don't know who put that coupling there, but I don't have patience to deal with it right now. So we're just gonna watch it come down to 10. Went ahead and put the stupid eyebrow back on. Then I also put some 404 stickers on it, so we're all good to go. Everything looks nice and clean, clear sight glass. Box is at 39 degrees. It's looking good.